Hi everyone, and welcome back to Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. Today's story is titled, I'm just surprised at my wife's excuse for her relationship with another man. We have been dating for 13 years, married for 8, and have no kids. Both my wife and I are professionals and travel a lot for work. This time, both my wife and I are traveling during the same time period. I'm gone for 2 weeks and she's gone for 10 days. While traveling, we normally call each other and talk about our day. We did the same on this time as well. She has been to the city I'm currently in, but neither of us have ever been to her city. So, she calls every night and describes her work, what she is doing, and if she is having fun. My work colleague and I had an agreement that if one of us is gone, the other will periodically drive by and check on the house. I called him to check in, and he was confused. He stated that he saw my wife having dinner in town with another man, maybe a work colleague, but she is not supposed to be in our hometown. I stated that she was supposed to be out of town. So, I am confused. I asked him to do an early morning drive by the house to see what's what. So at the nightly predetermined time, I called my wife and she goes into this long holistic description of how the city is perfect for my allergies and our mutual outdoor hobbies. She was just tripping over herself with the superlatives of the city, and I'm just sitting there thinking, what are you talking about? I did not tell her what my friend told me because he stated maybe he wasn't sure it was her. Now, this guy knew her before me, so I know he knows what she looks like. I think he was protecting me on his own way. He stated that he saw the guy's car because he saw him getting out of the car in the parking lot, come into the restaurant and sits down next to my wife. My friend drove past my house for several days and several times and noted that in the day both cars are gone, but at night they are both back. So I called her office to make sure she didn't come home early. And they stated that she was on travel status until Monday. What is she doing? I'm still on travel status until Thursday. So, last night at the allocated time, she calls me all happy and lovey, telling me she cannot wait to see me. So, she is still telling me that she's in her travel city. I play the fool and rattle on like everything is okay. I feel the anger anytime I think about her with someone else. I thought our marriage was great. Several date nights a week, good physical intimacy, etc. etc. So, why? Now, let's listen to the first update. I was still at my work location, and my feelings of her with some other man becoming more evident. Especially with the growing evidence that my friend was accumulating, I contacted my brother and told him about my situation. And he said that I could use his cabin if the need arises. He has a cabin in the San Juan Islands, off the coast of Washington, that he won from his divorce settlement few years before. I made it to the cabin where my brother was already there along with 2 of my best friends. One friend is also divorced and the other is a divorce and custody attorney in my city. I called my wife and told her that my work was extended for a week, and I told her the date that I would be home. She said she was disappointed but totally understood. I'm sure she was. So, after several days of crying, yelling and drinking to clear my head, I have a plan. It might be the right plan, or it may be just blow up on my face. I have to let everyone know that I am loyal to a fault and will support anyone close to me until they do something that undermines my trust. I apply this philosophy to my family, friends, and spouse. I have supported all her desires, including college, her family, and her issues at work. I know I'm not a perfect person by far, but when it comes to commitment, especially in a marriage, I assume each partner should adhere to those commitments. She never mentioned being unhappy with me, and we do a lot of things together. We have the same dreams and desires within our marriage. Breaking her commitment to me by betraying me, along with growing evidence, are the cornerstones for my decisions. Just a side note, the other man is her co-worker. Now, back to the plan. I arrived home late on the day I told her I would. She was asleep with her computer on her bed, which was turned on. When I came out of the bathroom, the computer was gone. Weird. I got up earlier than her and went to work. When she came down to the kitchen, She saw I left a stack of printed emails 4-inch tall from her correspondence with her co-worker, also with my wedding ring on top. Yes, it was an immature action, but it felt good to go down to that level. As expected, I received a phone call. Here's the gist of it. Her, what is this? What is with the email and ring? Me, did you read it? Her, yes. What does this mean? Me, this is my decision. Her, does this mean you're going to leave me? Me, this is the road I'm taking. Her, good. F you. Then came the proverbial hang-up. Knowing her, she probably wished that she was on a landline, so she would have the satisfaction of slamming the receiver down, but she didn't. An hour later, she calls back. Her, I'm sorry for everything. Can we talk about this when you get home? Me, I will be staying somewhere else. Her, how can we work it out if I never see you? A-hole. Before she could do another hang-up, I mentioned to her that I have copies of all the emails and pictures of her infidelity that are ready to be mailed to her parents and work if she decided to get back at me. I have an outstanding attorney, a good support base, and the time I need to make the right decision. I am living with a friend who is close to my house, so I can see her comings and goings if I wish. I have gone 180 not only with her but with her family as well. My attorney is handling the division of assets and the rest of the legal things. This is what I predict that I will need to deal with in the near future for reconciliation. Calls from her parents, sisters, friends, and then appearing at my job. She has not done anything needed for a restraining order. She is the most natured person I have ever met. Her actions have just gutted me, especially when her actions came from out of the blue. I am confused where our marriage went wrong. I mean, we have ups and downs like everyone, but we always prided ourselves on working through these problems. I am currently in therapy dealing with all sorts of topics regarding my marriage along with my personal well-being. Anyway, she is going to be served at her job next week. I guess she found out where I was living based on the fact my best friend lives in the city and is a divorce attorney. She just came to the door and my friend answered. He told her that I was unable to come to the door, and she breaks down into hysterical crying, saying that this is Thanksgiving and her family was asking where I was. They know I'm in town because I had to get some mail from them. I think it is all coming into focus for her, and it is not what she wants to see. Time will tell. Here is the last update. It has been a while since I dropped off her emails and my ring. During that time, my wife has gone from full-on hysterical to an emotional slobbering mess. If you have been following, after I had enough evidence to support my theory, I met with my brother and best friends to determine what goals do I have in my life. Is it to be a loving and supported husband to a cheating wife? Or divorce and refocus myself to what I want in life? When the long argued discussions were concluded, I decided to refocus on my own goals. Oh, by the way, my decision was not based on her current email and actions, but to the other two indiscretions she also indulged while we were married. So, the decision was not all that difficult, but it was one of the hardest emotional things that I have ever faced. So, a plan was developed. The first part of the plan was to gather evidence from all possible sources, talk to an attorney, work on the separation plan regarding joint accounts, find a temporary lodging until moving back in, etc. The house is mine, so she cannot touch it. All this was prepared before I agreed to talk to her last night. So, I picked the restaurant and the time. I arrived a little early to see if she came along or brought some garbage as backup. Garbage is the name I gave her group of friends, including her sister. They are a living group of people that caused sickness to anyone they wish to strike and crush. I call them this lovingly, of course, but she came solo. After I meet her, got seated, and I looked at her having a drink after a while, and we get to talking. I came prepared and she did not. She was shaking, her eyes were leaking, and her voice was scratchy. She only mumbled that she was sorry, it wasn't my fault, blah blah blah. When she was done, I think I started my list of questions. The first, of course, was, why? Answer, she just thought it would be fun. I was waiting for a long, lengthy reply, taking blame, passing blame on to me, etc. I don't think I said anything for an hour. but it must have been only seconds. I said, "Is that it? The only reason to cheat on me?" Well, he was cute and we were around each other all the time, so I thought it would be fun. I wasn't going to tell you because it wasn't really anything. Done, done, done. Holy moly, really? I just got up and left. Well, the garbage must have been close by. They showed up at the restaurant, leaving their trail behind them. I didn't get to talk to her about being served, separation plans, or anything. Nothing. I'm gathering my wits around me, went back to my current location, sat down, had some drinks, and mellowed out. So, I guess the future is now cut and dry. But, wow, I hope there is more to it. She has been calling my friend all day and he keeps saying no. So, that's my story. Thanks for listening. Well, that's all we have from the original story so far. It has been some time and OP hasn't posted any more updates. I suppose things ended as planned. I will be back tomorrow with another epic story. Have a good day.